crazy.
And we're all crazy, then we die. What's the matter? What did I say?
Nothing.
Hey, what did I say? Oh, jeez, I'm such a nerd. You know, I completely forgot about that. I'm sorry I said those dumb things. I mean, I forgot that your father died last month.
You know, right before the accident, he called me and told me about a nightmare he'd had.
Another one of his premonitions?
I told you about that, remember?
Yeah, every once in a while he gets these dreams about somebody and then something bad happens to that person, right?
Yeah.
So what do you dream about?
Me. He dreamt that I was a little kid with my tiffin and my water bottle and I was crossing the street. And this big brown truck came and hit me and killed me on the spot.
That's really weird. He was hit by a truck, wasn't he?
Yes.
So in a way, his last premonition came true.
Yes.
Hey, don't get that way. You need something to cheer you up. And I've got it right here.
Why have you called me here so early in the morning?
To show you this. Yes.
It's probably some itching powder or contraceptive.
No, this is serious.
Seriously? Jonathan, it's my lucky tabis. But I lost this in the lake when I went swimming with the others. How did you find it?
I went back that evening and I dove down to the bottom of the lake. And again and again and again. Until I found it.
Jonathan, but that lake is 20 or 30 feet deep.
Hey, I'm the swim champ at MII. Just used a little of my swimming towel.
My father gave this to me. He was very religious, you know. And right after my mother died when I was a kid, he made me promise that I'd never take this off.
Now you can keep your promise.
You know, and the others always pulled my leg about how superstitious I am. They never could understand why I was making such a big deal about such a little taviz. Thank you.
Forget it, Shama.
No, Jonathan, I've only just begun to realize that under that fun-loving, clowning exterior of yours, you're really a very different person underneath.
A lot more different than you think.
Jonathan, really, thank you so much. It's the small things like this that make me feel like going on living.
Shama, I've got a problem, and I don't want to hassle you with it. You've got your own with your dad and all.
No, you can tell me. What are friends for, silly?
Are you sure?
Of course.
Listen, you mustn't tell any of the others about this, okay?
Not even Varsha?
Especially not Varsha, because you see, she's the problem.
Don't tell me. I've been wondering about that for some time now.
What?
You're in love with her, aren't you?
Is it so obvious?
Of course it is, you bozo.
Give me a break.
You know, she likes you too, actually. A lot. In fact, she told me that sometimes she has a problem deciding which one she likes more, you or Aakash.
She said that?
Yes, but...
Yeah, she said that?
But after their last fight, she and Aakash have grown really close.
Shama, I need your help.
What?
To make Varsha choose once and for all between Aakash and me.
But what do you know about Ashok Mathur and Tanaz?
Everything.
How?
I met a very interesting woman at a party recently. Her name is Banaz.
Tanaz?
Banaz Patel.
Penny Patel, that's what they call her, right?
Right.
I think I've heard of her. She used to be a model, but then she got into some kind of drug problem.
Drugs, alcohol, she became suicidal.
What's she got to do with all this?
She's Banaz Patel's sister. Ashok Mathur's sister-in-law.
So you met her and she told you something about Ashok and Tanaz?
Right. That's why I got in touch with the nurse. Under the pretext of redoing my apartments in South Block, well, it needed a change anyway. And Pavan just happened to drop by at the same time.
So,
So I made some more inquiries.
you found out about Ashok Mathur's dirty dealings.
And eventually, of his connection with your brother, Ash.
So that's why you came down to Bombay, to meet my father.
Yes, because I had discovered the thing that Mathur was using to force Piyush to do his dirty work.
What was that?
The Darshana Power Project.
That explains it. There had to be something that Mathur was using to get Piyush involved. The Darshana Power Project.
Yes, so we were just unraveling all this when this gunman came in and shot your father.
What did this gunman look like?
He was tall, he was bald and small eyes.
That doesn't sound normal.
Well, whoever he was, I think Ashok Mathur hired him to kill Piyush.
Makes sense. Piyush disappeared on him, so he hired a gunman to kill him. But why would he shoot my father?
Because your father is the only one who can stop Ashok Mathur and Tanaz. If your father dies, then Ashok Mathur will get exactly what he wanted all along.
Pavan? Pavan? Any news? Any calls? Did anything happen while I was away?
No.
Where are the others?
Out.
You know, it's time for us to leave for the guest house, Pavan. It's a long drive. Are you alright? Sounding a bit strange.
I'm fine.
Pavan. Pavan, I'm sorry I had to leave you guys and go. But you know, Navini had a nervous breakdown after that guy left her. Poor thing, I had to take her to her parents' house and they were kind enough to look after Natasha for me. I mean, I know I should be looking after Natasha, but I just don't want her to get mixed up in all this mess with me.
No.
Are you sure you're alright?
I'm fine.
When will Aakash and Prithvi be back?
Soon.
Where exactly have they gone?
Out.
Yes, I know they've gone out. Where exactly have they gone, Pavan?
Out.
Pavan, the stress is getting to you, right? You can't handle the stress anymore. No?
Yes.
Look, I didn't want to leave Natasha and come here either, but I only came because of Varsha. And the reason we're doing all this that these maniacs are telling us to do is because of Varsha, isn't it?
Yes.
I know what you need, Pavan. You need a nice hot shower and some coffee and something to eat.
Okay.
I'm going for the shower. Towel. Whose t-shirt is this, Pavan?
Steve's.
Steve, Amanda's boyfriend, Steve.
Yes.
What was Steve doing here?
He.
Hold on. Don't even tell me about it. I'm going for the shower.
Hiya, Prof.
Jonathan, I want to talk to you.
So if I listen to you now, do I get to skip your class this afternoon?
No, because you're the one who's going to do the talking. Sit down.
Sorry, Prof. I gotta rush. Somebody I have to meet.
Shama,
Yeah.
at the old bandstand, 7 a.m.
You've been tapping my phone line, sir?
No, Jonathan. Shama came to me and told me about your conversations.
Shama's a stool pigeon.
Do you realize that it's difficult to maneuver someone who's so genuine, so friendly, and as warm as fire as Shama.
So what has she been telling you?
The little she knew, which, coupled with the facts I knew and things I suspected, gave me a pretty clear picture.
Shama, a tattler? I never would have thought that.
Jonathan, Shama is a nice, innocent girl. I can't imagine why you involve her in your porous games.
The nicer they are, the harder they fall?
Yes, for a short time you did succeed in fooling her by giving her that taweez and pretending that you had dived into the lake to get it for her, when in fact you had bought it from someone who had happened to go to Shirdi recently. And by doing a dozen little things like that, you maneuvered her into being a pawn for your wicked games. But unlike the other four, she was too innocent and incorruptible to be seduced by a serpent like you.
The old Garden of Eden metaphor again, huh, Prof?
And it's a very apt one, Jonathan. College is perhaps the most idealistic place through which we pass through in our lives. It's that age when we are most starry-eyed in our aspirations and dreams. And that's what makes it so difficult to understand a person like you.
You can't stop what you can't understand.
Oh, but I can. And that's why I'm here to tell you to stop right now. Otherwise, I'm going to pull the carpet from under your feet and put you on to the first flight to Seattle.
You get in my way, Professor, and you're the one leaving on the next plane to Ahmedabad.
You think you can manipulate me as you manipulate your colleagues?
You betcha.
And what makes you so overconfident, Jonathan?
Some photos I took last night when Shama came to your room at the staff's quarters. It stayed 2 hours and 23 minutes according to the clock on the staircase. Thanks to my trusty little Polaroid camera.
Nonsense! That proves nothing. She came there to talk to me.
Maybe she did, maybe she didn't, but it sure makes you look damn suspicious. You go and complain to the board about me, your former protege, and I'm gonna show them those photos and make up a nice, juicy story about you trying to expel me to keep me from talking about your affair with Shama.
Good evening, Tanazji.
How did you get in?
I open people's skulls and chests for a living. The opening of the door to your hotel suite wasn't much of a problem.
Well, Ashok would have thrown a fit if he'd seen me here.
Maybe that's why I made sure that I came in here after that.
How do you know when he'd do that?
I don't.
Well, what if he'd want to see me?
But then I guess I would have said, good evening, Mathurji instead.
You say my husband's a man to be feared.
If people fear the voice of the man who gives the order, imagine how much more they must fear the hand that fires the bullet.
Are you planning to cross my husband?
I never cross anybody, Tanazji. But if someone crosses me, as a rule, they don't live to talk about it.
So that's why you're here. To find out if my husband's planning to cut you loose?
You know, you are as sharp as I'd heard you were.
Heard? From whom?
Them.
Oh, them.
I'd also heard that Ashok Mathur is the man who would be king. And that you are the kingmaker.
Well, they certainly do talk a lot, don't they?
I'll have a soda with a twist of lime in it.
I didn't offer you any.
I don't wait to be offered.
I see. So, what exactly did you come here for?
Tanazji, this morning when I met your husband, I don't think he was too pleased with my work.
He's a difficult man to please.
Are you a difficult woman to please?
You're asking me if I'm pleased with your work? How do you even know that I'm aware of the job you're doing for Ashok? For all I know, you could be discussing the share prices on the law street or something.
From what I hear, there isn't much that goes on that you don't know about.
I'm flattered. After all, information is the only real power left. And I'd rather have that power to use than to have it used against me.
And politics is about power.
You're a strange man for a hired killer.
I'm honored you think so. But
To answer your question, no. Ashok isn't going to turn against you. He's an impatient man, and that's why he was a bit displeased that you weren't able to kill Mr. Rahija and Shamila Sarkar, and that you weren't able to find Piyush. But he knows the ground rules. He's done this before. And Abhimanyu, he knows you're good.
well, that's a load off my mind. You know, it's very difficult to function if you have these little nagging doubts at the back of your mind. I'll be seeing you, ma'am.
Stay. There's something I want to discuss with you. A little assignment, you could say.
Hi.
What the hell are you guys up to?
I was just having a bath.
But we've got to leave soon.
I know that, Aakash.
So where are the other two guys?
Pawan's inside. Prithvi's out somewhere.
Prithi's gone out? Where the hell is he gone?
I don't know where he's gone. Pawan isn't feeling very vocal today. He's a bit stressed out.
Shit. Parker and Ranade are going to chew us up and spit us out.
What's in the box?
These are some old letters that Varsha wrote to Shweta while she was in college.
You went all the way to Varsha's house to pick these up? Must be important.
I don't know, I haven't been through them yet.
You want me to help?
Yeah, you could go through this bundle.
Okay. What exactly are we looking for?
Look for a letter dated the 31st of December. The last New Year's party we had at the MII.
Oh, Aakash, no.
Just keep looking.
Aakash, please, no, let's not do it.
Fine, I can do it alone.
Aakash, that whole night was a big misunderstanding. You know that yourself.
Look, Shama, whatever's been happening in the last few weeks makes it very clear that we don't know anything like we thought we did.
But it was all a scheme on Ashok Mathur's part to destroy us.
Yes, but why is he doing it?
Because he wants us to admit to what happened to Jonathan.
Pawan, are you feeling better?
Yeah, I'm fine. So when did the two of you get back?
Akash got back just now, but I was here for the last half hour.
Oh, really? Where were you?
Pawan, I came into the bedroom when you were feeling really strange and lying down. I told you have a shower, freshen up. Don't you remember?
No. All I remember is going to the CBI and then coming back and wondering where the hell all of you were.
But then where was Steve?
Steve who?
Steve. Amanda's friend Steve. He's the one who picked up the phone when I called. Didn't he give you the message?
No. He wasn't here when I arrived.
Pawan, what about the t-shirt?
What t-shirt?
The t-shirt that was lying at the foot of the cupboard. The one you said that belonged to Steve.
What t-shirt? What are you talking about, Shama?
Professor Shah, to quote one of your favorite lines, so why don't you concentrate? Why didn't you do something to stop Jonathan?
But I did. That's what I've been telling you, how I tried to stop Jonathan in his devious schemes.
But from your narrative, I gather that you rather admire Jonathan.
Victor,
Are you trying to insinuate that I tried to encourage Jonathan?
Maybe not encourage him, but you could have done something to stop him.
Just what do you think I could have done?
You could have reported it to the dean, maybe brought up the matter before the board, called up Jonathan's father. There were several things you could have done.
Victor, that was a college, remember? And collegians do get into a lot of mischief. At that stage, what I could have proved conclusively was that Jonathan was playing some sort of a bizarre mind game with our 5 friends.
It wasn't just a bizarre mind game, Professor Shah. It was a game that was to eventually end in murder.
Exactly. But the college authorities would have treated it only as an innocent game.
And you didn't say a word of this to anybody.
I did try to talk to the dean informally, of course, but he just laughed it off.
That was it?
Certainly not. I spoke to Jonathan again, and I was much harsher this time. Perhaps because at this time he was working on Shama, and I couldn't stand to see Shama succumb to his madness.
And were you successful?
That's debatable. But Victor, I did confront him. Yes, I did confront Jonathan.